And we are off. It's on Shady Force. So Shady Force is playing a interesting sprite in that he isn't playing sprite. Oh, there we go. I had not considered just dashing through the middle of those bushes. That might be faster. We'll see. All right. Shady Force into the well, or not the well, the Uncle's Tunnel, as well as Hitzion. Both runners found some bombs in the lead south with a blue rupee at the Uncle and a piece of heart in the next location. Into the escape we go. For those of you just joining us and who aren't quite aware of the format, this is again the SpeedGaming Live tournament qualifier. The SpeedGaming Live tournament right now has a fairly sizable prize pool associated with it. Last I checked, it was around 4,500, but I'm not entirely certain at the moment. It may have changed since then. That being said, we've got a large number of competitors, and the format here is casual boots format, essentially, where you start with a sword and a boots, but the item pool is slightly modified to make things a little more interesting. You can only get blue mail, you can only get one shield, you can only get tempered sword, and another slightly interesting thing, there's only one bow item, and then the silvers are a separate item, which if you're used to the progressive bows from before, that's changed here. All right, both runners dealing with the ball and chain guard with some slashes. We're still at 45-33. Yep, sounds good. All right, now Hitzion, of course, is using his traditional sprite, which, if you look on the site, it's actually listed as his name, but it is clearly based on Luffy from One Piece. Do I have a favorite to win? I mean, out of these two, I probably couldn't pick a winner. And out of the full 50, well, shoot, if I know. And I certainly don't have a favorite in the sense of having someone that I want to win over the other one. I have no bias toward either of these runners. All right, 300 rupees in the Dark Cross. Very nice to find early. We did also find the map earlier, so we will be opening the chest in Sanctuary. I do just love dashing into that key rat. It just really loves to be there in the bottom left corner when you first walk in. Got a piece of heart, we got a big 20, and we got a big 20. So a whole lot of garbage here. And both runners exiting escape around the 5:10, 5:15 mark. Just to note that they're about the same. Shady Force is a little bit, or Shady Force's stream here is a little bit behind. We're going for bonk rocks. More bombs. All right, so far nothing really important has been found. We need to find that first bit of progression to go through. A little bit of money from the tree pull here, and both runners going for the Aga 1 check, or the lumberjack check. I find that to be a pretty reasonable play here. And I didn't get to see what that was on either side. Blue rupee, apparently. More bombs lying on the ground. Shady Force is actually going for it. And a big 20 in the Lost Woods hideout. And he's actually walking around it to avoid the fanfare picking it up. I don't know. I think, personally, picking up the 20 rupees is not a bad idea here. Oh, hello. Big 20s from the Tier 1 tree pull, it looks like. All right, Master Sword. First relevant item of the match here in Blind's Hut, and that's it so far. All right, Xeon heading over to the well. We got 10 arrows. Followed by 10 more arrows. Big 20, piece of heart, and bombs. Again, just garbage flying all over the place here. And a green rupee from the bottle vendor. Dude knows how to make his money. Chicken Hut. There we go. There's a mirror. That's at least relevant. Though it doesn't unlock anything on its own. Back at the tavern. Coming up, and it is a glove. That is exactly what that was in the previous qualifier. And big 20 in the library. You see, I'm going to go check the race game, and then probably peace out. Yep. So I saw Hitzion picking up one more heart there to get to full hearts, and I was like, why would you need to be full hearts that badly? And then I realized it's pretty good for Midi Moldworm Cave. All right, so Quake Medallion inside the dam. We got silver arrows and just a lot of arrows, and there's a lamp and a piece of heart. So there's our Aga 1 access. And yeah, going up to mountain is a possibility. In fact, we can go all the way through Tower of Hera. So there's that. All right, piece of heart in Ice Rod Cave. Looks like Hezion is setting up the water walk. Yeah, he's not going to Hobo. I get that. My personal preference here is to set up the water walk and then just do the fake flipper anyway, and then go to Hobo and then do the fake flipper from Hobo. And hey, there's a moon pearl inside the waterfall. So what do I know? He's not even checking the ledge. Though uh, I wouldn't be surprised if Shady Force does go for it on account of actually having Zora money here. Oh, hello. There's another sword on the Zora ledge. And a scam from the Zora King. Oh, I just missed what was on the old man there. Looks like garbage and a half. All right, we got shield on top of Spectacle Rock. Within it, another piece of heart. Yeah. So that's not the only remaining sword that exists, but there's only one more after that. And if you pick up the other one, the remaining one will turn into a green 20. So there you go. All right, small key, the vanilla small key in the basement cage there. And the map chest has the big key. So unsurprisingly, Hezion going upstairs in Tower of Hera. Though there is a reasonable chance that the dungeon is going to want you to go to the basement here. Hezion doing the bonk strat to get across the gap there. And we did find the flippers up here in Tower of Hera, it looks like, so that makes the Moon Pearl much more reasonable. And before something like hook shot at catfish. Because catfish is in logic. And that's a bow on Moldorm proper with a crystal pickup here at Tower of Hera. All right, Huxion gonna head east now. He's going toward Eastern Palace with the bow in hand. It's silvers, very nice. Not only that, he's going directly to Eastern Palace, it looks like. Not passing go, not collecting 200 rupees. All right, big key in the first chest of Eastern for Huxion. And so for those of us paying attention at home, who are paying attention much better than me, there were apparently map checks all around. It turns out that the pendants are in Swamp and Mire and Desert for the green pendant. And then 5-6 crystals are Pod and Skull Woods, looks like. And Huxion gonna finish out Eastern. So I think it's an interesting and probably correct play for Huxion to have gone to Eastern first, because getting to Sazrala after this is not a hard process. But I haven't really timed it. Now, if you were coming over here and you were still looking for the bow or something, or you weren't able to just full clear Eastern, then you might want to go to Sazrala's Closet first. All right, Eastern Palace complete for Huxion. And we will see where he decides to go next. Yep, looks like there is an item in the big key chest of Eastern. That could be a pretty big deal. And Shady Force is going to pick up that item, so if it turns out to be relevant, Ixion will be going to Aga 1. And if it turns out to be, say, the hammer or the other glove, Ixion going to feel pretty silly. Nope. Turns out it's garbage. And so Ixion going to Aga 1, pretty safe bet here. But I don't think we've seen a Gina's Cave, so that's the other possibility here. We also haven't seen Hobo. Yeah, checking Zora with Catfish is a great way to do it. So if you're expecting to have to do Aga 1 anyway, doing it this way is a pretty reasonable play. In fact, Ixion can go to Hobo pretty quick as well, coming off of the Aga 1 play. So, yeah. It just depends on what Shady Force decides to do here. He might also go for the Aga 1 play. Oh, it would definitely be just for Dark World access. Tree is garbage. All right, welcome to the Aga 1 fight. Sponsored by the Kakariko Smith Shop, where their motto is our swords are guaranteed to reflect magic balls unless they're blue. And Sion is going to go pick up the ice rod on the pyramid. That is a definitely required ice rod, as we do need to go to Turtle Rock at some point. So Hitzion is going to dash right past the hobo check there. And is going to head up to Palace of Darkness. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Shady Force kind of call an audible here and go to Catfish pretty quick, just because you can get that tempered sword up on the Zora ledge. We begin with a small key in Palace of Darkness, which is absolutely no surprise. And another small key for Ixion. Oh yeah, scam was scam all over the place. We got small key number 3 in pod, and small key number 4. So that is all the required number of small keys up here in the front. But we could end up with a 5 or 6 key front, which 5 key fronts are pretty rare. 6 key fronts are dumb rare. And there we go. Shady Force, as expected, going for the audible towards Catfish. And a fire rod on the right-hand side of pod. Very nice. And a shield. So when Shady Force picks that up, it's going to be money. Alright, so Shady Force is setting up the bonk for a quick warp here. Oh my goodness! Guys, I promise you I did not see the spoiler for this seed. But I literally did call in before hookshot at Catfish or something. Anyway, wow. Yeah, it just seemed, reasonable given the fact that we'd had all this Aga access and the fact that you needed something more to get to the rest of the Dark World. So now Shady Force has a decision to make. He can go for the West Dark World play, or he can go back to Pod, head that way. I feel like you follow the hook shot. Oh my goodness, the hammer is sitting in Pod. That's not pretty. Yeah, and as expected, Shady Force is following that hook shot. Sure hope he doesn't get baited into Swamp for that first chest. Yeah, going for the early Aga play this seed seems to have been the correct call. Yeah, it's not guaranteed. We have not seen the second glove yet. So Shady Force actually did a real interesting move there inside Graveyard Ledge there. Dropping a bomb to the right, lifting a pot, picking the bomb back up and chucking it so that the bomb could explode earlier. So most of the time I see people lift a couple pots, then drop the bomb, then chuck it, and that can slow it down a bit. But if you're fast enough picking up the pots, that's probably a little faster the way Shady Force did it. Lots of little optimizations that these runners can make. Alright, so just some money on top of Bumper Ledge. You can see Shady Force kind of going out of his way to pick up extra money here. I'm assuming this is because he's at some point intending to go to the digging game and the chest game. And Heatzion was on 1 heart with Helmasaur in his face. Luckily, he had a silver arrow to shoot down Helmasaur, but my goodness, that was a harrowing experience. That might have been the 4th sword. I thought it was 50, but I guess I should increase my screen size here. I mean, it could also be a shield, given the shield situation, though we did find another one of those. All right, Shady Force taking the hammer and going to Hype Cave. I mean, not Shady Force, Heatzion. I'm a dumb. Oh, shields replaced by blue rupees. Okay, I guess that explains why I've seen so many blue rupees in these seeds. All right, Stumpsman got a piece of heart. We got a bug net in Sea House. K45, Grove Ledge, etc., whatever you want to call it. Heatzion coming up. Got chess game for Shady Force. 20 in K45. Chess game is 50 rupees. So we will be plenty okay when it comes to digging game funds. So you will want a little more money for pod. And there's a flute. In for Shady Force here. Oh, and the Titan's Myth sitting in the digging game. So yeah, definitely the Aga play was the call here. And now Heatzion has the opportunity to go up and check the village. All right, Shady Force entering Thieves Town now. There is a compass, 50 rupees in the hammer pegs. Heatzion. Big key, as you definitely expect in the front of Thieves Town. Heatzion going to check the smiths. And a bottle. That's the first bottle we've seen. He's Young going to pick up the flute here. Yeah, I guess that is true. If you had red cane, we could potentially know all we need for this. Young going into Thieves Town himself. Yeah, the Turtle Rock Medallion is the only other thing we don't know about for Go mode here. And the Cane of Samaria absolutely cannot be on the pedestal. So if you're looking for a pedestal seed, it's going to be that medallion or bust. And this could definitely be extremely fast for the right runner. I don't think any seed that goes to Aga 1 is going to be like, sub 110 for pretty much anybody, but maybe. Like, I haven't ruled it out. Oh, Shady Force is unfortunately leaving behind the big chest here because he doesn't have the hammer. And Blind goes down, has the map, so we know that there is an item in the big chest. So we'll get to see what that is when Young goes to pick it up. All right, Shady Force will be picking up the glove here at the race game pretty shortly. Or not race game, the digging game. Close enough. Oh, yes, and we did pick up the Ether Medallion there in Turtle Rock, Thieves Town. I'll get these words down eventually. Big 20 in the big chest, so nothing super important there. It's going to be a relief for Shady Force. Shady Force now sitting on exactly 1 rupee more than he needs for pod. So there's that. And Heatsion going to finish off Blind here. All right, Heatsion finishing off Blind. Good chance he activates the flute here, which might mean I need to do something, but we'll see. Well, good morning to you from the SpeedGaming crew. Unless you're in EU, then good afternoon. Though I guess it is true, other zones exist too. So good evening to do, crew cover you. Anyway, hello, Swag Duck. He's also checking the stick kit here. Shady Force going for the Mire area, which is an interesting play. Mire is its vanilla ether medallion today. I've got sound on my end. It might just be really quiet. I did have to crank it up quite a bit. All right, Shady Force going for the desert play here, which is again pretty interesting. We know that there's a lot of value in pod. Though, I mean, we could end up having the King of Samaria here, so who knows? Of course, you know, the real meme is when the King of Samaria is in Misery Mire proper. But yeah, so much for that. As the King of Samaria is in desert. And so basically, you know, we've gotten most of the information we need here to finish this seed. Though we don't know about the Turtle Rock Medallion, though I imagine that Shady Force will want to check that soon. Now he's going to have to go to pod, and you know he's going to want to avoid pod without the hammer if he can help it. Unfortunately, we know the hammer is in pod. Yep, so Shady Force is heading east now on Death Mountain to check Paradox Cave and a few other choice locations. He will be able to check all of both sides of the Dark World here, or both sides of Death Mountain. And actually, I think this is one of those scenarios where you actually do want to go through that portal first, unless you're going to go to Spiral Cave right after or something like that. Go through the portal and then you mirror outside the entrance here so that you can come back in. So Shady Force picked up a bunch more money there, and there's a blue mail for Shady Force in Paradox Cave. Which I'm glad I saw that, because if I hadn't seen him pick it up, I'd have never known he had it. Oh, and the book is sitting there on the ledge. I don't know if Shady Force picked that up. He probably did. got a big heart and a 10 arrow in the miner shed, which we also saw from Shady Force. But the big heart is actually fairly rare in this mode. There's only 3 of them placed in the pool, one of which is the Sank heart. Could have been it for all I know. So Shady Force is now heading to the Dark World side of Death Mountain. So he should be able to get 1 chest in Hookshot Cave. If he decides... Oh, he should be able to do all of it, because he's the one who did get the hookshot. Sorry. It's Hitzion who doesn't have the hookshot. I feel like there's a fairly strong overlap between people who can hover and people who will skip catfish. So, those people might be okay. Interestingly enough, Hitzion going for the big chest here in Desert did go ahead and pick up the Cane of Samaria. Shady Force, you're killing me. Why aren't you going to see what Turtle Rock is? Never mind, we don't care. There's a Bombos medallion on the ether tablet. So there we go. So now we know. Knowing is half the battle. Yeah, I agree. Stayman. Having to last location hammer is less painful because there's just so many fewer places you can go without it. Speaking of hammer, looks like Shady Force is gonna bite the bullet and go to pod, while Hitzion is going to go into ice, which I certainly would not fault Hitzion for going to ice here on account of having the cane. It just turns out it's not going to lead to the item he needs. So this is one of those situations where I would have been tempted to walk into the ice or to the Pengator's room here and just blow the Quake medallion. Ixion just going nuts with the sword slashing and attempting to reach the icebreaker glitch there. I haven't seen that particular strategy, but it appears to work. Alright, so Shady Force will now be picking up the Fire Rod here. And that, once Shady Force picks up the Fire Rod and the Hammer, Shady Force should be in go mode. And both of those are here in odd. No, the required moves for some things can appear to be, like black magic. And I mean, it's mostly related to floating point rounding, so at the same time, yes, floating point rounding is basically black magic, so there you go. Yeah, I believe this will be go mode for Shady Force once he picks up the hammer in the dark maze here. Etion is having a little bit of issues with Cold Stare on account of having sword beams. There we go, Etion finishing off Ice Palace. Now, I will say, if Etion can do the hover thing, which I honestly don't know, he might decide to just go to Turtle Rock and call it here. So the fact that he was checking chests inside ice, well, I don't know. He's going up to the mountain. Well, I honestly don't know if he needs bombos. You don't have to hover Turtle Rock. He's got the Cane of Samaria. The only thing he would need to hover is the Ganon Soured Gap. But yeah, Hookshot's over at Catfish, so that's probably going to be a hot minute. Yeah, getting that hook shot right as Shady Force entered the Dark World, going for that hook shot play seemed pretty good. I don't know how many other people went straight for Catfish, but there you go. Hookshot was on the Catfish, which, if you run back the commentary, I did in fact call it. Just because of the way that the Aga requirement was shaping up. Alright, Etion heading into Turtle Rock now. While Shady Force heading to Ice Palace. Going to finish that off pretty soon. Get a cape inside Turtle Rock. Seems good. So Hitzion was checking various things, like throughout Ice Palace, things like that. I mean, he could have just been looking for another sword, but we actually know where the swords are. So I don't know if Hitzion actually checked Bumper Ledge, but if he did, he should know there's a sword there. So once he could use that cape later to go get it. But yeah, I don't know if he went to check it or not. Alright, so big key acquired for Hitzion. He's going to go ahead and finish off Turtle Rock here in the best visibility, while Shady Force is go-moding the snot out of Ice Palace. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of wishing I had run this one. That being said, I'd be happier if I commentated most of the seeds and not actually run enough to actually make the tournament. Alright, Hitzion is going to head through the rest of this Turtle Rock area. He is going to go ahead and go outside because he went and checked the middle chest. The lava chest, the big key chest. Alright, so this is going to be a play towards Skull Woods for Shady Force, I imagine. Good question. So the qualification process goes like this. There are 15 qualifier races. And you need to finish, or you need to have 5 of them run in general. I think maybe 4 if you maybe 4 depending on how you depending on how they count the last one. But you take for each qualifier, you take the top 5 times and average them. That becomes the par time. And then your difference between your time and the par time is used in a formula to compute your score. Score tends to range from 0 to 1,000. I believe 0 is the minimum, but not. I don't know. It's possible that it could go into the negatives, and it is possible to go over 1,000 for the first couple of people in the par calculation. But the top so many players, I think it's 128. or maybe I'm thinking of something else. We'll move on to brackets, and I think it's just it's a best of one match, but I think it's double elimination. But I actually honestly don't know. Best of one double elimination, that makes sense. Top 128. I guess it's not a terribly far-fetched thing for me to make these brackets, but I have to be real good. Alright, so Heation is on Trinexx and Shady Force is heading to Turtle Rock. Heation is unfortunately having to do some hammer Trinexx here on account of not having the tempered sword. Maybe I will try to run some more of these, or some of these. Just depends on how often I get selected for commentary. So we will see what Heation is going to do here. I don't know what his capabilities are regarding hovering or otherwise. It looks like he's going to go check some more items here. He has been sort of obsessively checking the items. Did not get a hookshot in the one chest and hookshot cave you can get without it. Oh, I forgot to comment on the fact that Heation correctly performed the hardest trick in the game, which is remembering you don't have a hookshot when you're in the torch room in Turtle Rock. Heation is going to do Spiral Cave here. He's going to go ahead and finish out some of these other locations. He hasn't done Paradox Cave yet, and I know this because he picked up the blue mail in Turtle Rock. Yep, hookshot can be in Ganon's tower logically, at least from Heation's perspective. Though, honestly, I didn't keep track of keys in Ice Palace. There are some key layouts that would render the hookshot required for Ice. Last Friday, someone posted a helpful link to the Ice Palace key logic in chat, and I did not look at it, so I still don't have it down. I think there being a small key on the right side there with the spike room makes it hookshot lock, but I could be wrong. Where was the big key? I think it was Freezor. Don't hold me to it. Alright, so Heatzion is going into Ganon's tower. He's going to be looking for the hookshot here. Unfortunately, he's not going to find it. We'll see what happens. Could end up doing some bomb jumps to get across the left side. One time I want to see the hookshot in the map chest in here. Because that is absolutely in logic. The map chest being the fire bar room. Oh, there's the big key on the torch of Ganon's tower. So if Heatzion wants to attempt the hover or mobile bounce situation, he can go upstairs. But it looks like Heatzion is going to the right-hand side. So bomb jumps are never in logic. But left side bonks are in logic. So it's possible to bonk your way to one of the chests in logic. I love how there's a room here in Ganon's tower. Oh, and for those of you interested, if you want to put in a guess as to where the GT key is... Oh, wait, we already know where it is. You can't just bonk your way to the Stalfos room. There has to be a bomb jump. It requires at least one bomb jump. Either horizontally or vertically. Heatzion is just going to peace out, so it does look like Heatzion not really able to finish this without the hookshot, which is a little unfortunate because it's going to be... I wouldn't imagine it would be fairly... I don't imagine it'll be soon. Shady Force. Go into the big key right away. I'm gonna pick up a pot with a key under it and get the heck out. Alright, Shady Force on the GT climb. Oh, well, never mind. Heatzion is going for Catfish right now. So, I stand corrected. There it is, one hookshot for Heatzion, who I'm assuming will immediately get the heck back to the mountain. Which is a little unfortunate, because if he had just gone up to Zora, he'd get another sword. Alright, nice silver arrow landmo from Shady Force. 3 shots, 3 kills, and we move on to the Wizrobe rooms. Oddly satisfying Wizrobe death sounds. Volume 1. Shady Force deploying some lamp strats. And luckily, we did recently update the randomizer to fix the jingle glitch, so you don't have to wait for those stairs, no matter how wonky your torch room went. No powder here, so not going to be able to powder those fairies, but he's got full health anyway, so who cares? Moldorm down for Shady Force, while Hitzion begins the climb. So the jingle glitch is fixed unless you're playing a glitched mode. So like overworld glitches, major glitches, that sort of thing. Oh, a triple shot for Shady Force on Aga 2 round 1. And, oh, just barely missed the double triple. 3, 2, 1. Liftoff as we head to the Ganon fight. Alright, Shady Force, on to the Ganon fight. Didn't quite get the 1-on-1 cycle, but going to easily finish this part and head into phase 3. You say, wait, is he using cape strats? No, he's just using the invisible sprite. Alright. Doing a couple torch shots, and oh, just missing the triple. Here comes the final silver arrow, and that does it for Ganon. We wait for Shady Force to cross the bridge. And there it is. Shady Force finishing this race in actual first place with a time of 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 2 seconds. Well done to Shady Force. And well done to whoever picked Shady Force for restream. for picking the eventual winner of this race. And we are now joined here in chat by Shady Force. I guess he's going to set up his microphone real quick, but once he's got that set up, we will...
Hey, Bob, can you hear me okay?
Yes, Shady Force, I absolutely can. So why exactly is Oro someone you need to thank here?
Well, the Triforce text said this seed was brought to you by Oro, right?
Oh, wow. I'm a dumb and a half. Can't even read. Oh my goodness, Shady Force, that was a heck of a run from you. I'm assuming...
Go mode hammer, yeah, that's so great. It's a good go mode item.
Oh yeah, go mode hammer is a wonderful time. Luckily, you did end up going into pod before checking a bunch of random garbage. Now, of course, Heatzion, who was the other person who was on stream, was actually in Ganon's tower before you, but he was looking for the hook shot.
Yeah, I was wondering if the hookshot might evade people. I honestly didn't expect it to, because when it's an Aga for Dark World access like this, I don't think it's that bad to nip up to Catfish before pod anyway when you don't have a hammer. Like, you'd feel like a right numpty if the hammer was on Catfish and you go to pod first. So I expected a lot more people to get to Catfish. I actually thought getting Samari out of Desert was actually the real good item for me.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good too. Heatzion got that fairly quickly after you did, but still, it was really, really nice. I actually, once we found enough for Aga access, and we found the flippers and the Moon Pearl to make it all in logic, the next thing I did was I literally called in before hookshot on Catfish.
Right you were.
Kind of makes me wish I'd run this seed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like my plan, I did leave a couple of locations before doing Aga. Like if the hammer was on Hobo or if it was in Nagina, I was probably going to lose. But there was a good bit of value to doing Aga just to get to the Pyramid, which is a place I never get to anyway. And my plan was always to do Pyramid to Catfish and then use as an excuse to go and grab my Tempered Sword, which I'd left on Dora Ledge. Which I think is a really good time save. I think if Spoilers has taught me one thing, is that Tempered Sword is an underrated time save. You save a lot of time and a lot of bosses in combat situations. So I kind of wanted to grab that, and going to via Catfish was a good excuse to make it appear like a good, tidy route.
And it worked out pretty well for you. Well done.
Getting to the other items and getting the hammer late was kind of a pretty good one. I was worried all seed that the hammer was just in pod, but in the end it kind of worked out for me in a big way.
Alright, so once again, now we have Heatzion finishing on stream with an official time of 1 hour, 18 minutes, 52 seconds, and that was good enough for third place in the race. So everybody, major shout outs to whoever picked the two runners for Restream today, because you nailed it. You just nailed it.
Yo, GG hits it.
GG's.
Well done, well done. So yeah. Good old Catfish, right?
Oh, the seed. I was tilted since I found the cane. Because I had only hookshot left, and I know I have not the ability to hover or mold down bounce. So I know I had to do a lot of checks now that I could just go mode it. And then, I was not sure if ice was hookshot locked, because I don't know key logic in ice. And then I did GT right side, because I was thinking there can be the hookshot maybe. Went into Spike, and then I got splitted out on Pyramid, and was giga tilted, because I was thinking now everyone will finish and just go Catfish, because I had 3 checks left there still. And then there was hookshot at least and saved me. But I got lucky, I guess, because I went to pot instead of Catfish, so...
Yeah, so that was a pretty good call with the whole hammer and fire rod situation, being over there, being able to finish those dungeons as you went along. Unfortunately, that did sort of lead you away from Catfish there, whereas Shady Force here went there directly after Aga 1, but of course that meant that he went across the river and did a bunch of stuff on the west side before heading to Pod. So either way, you're tempted to do one thing or the other. And I don't see any way anybody finishes this seed much faster. But yeah, at least 2 of the top 3 in this race in a seed where you could have hovered, neither player did. So
yeah, I never expected to get third in this race because I saw it's a hover seed. From my perspective, it looked like it because I had not the knowledge with the hookshot on Catfish. So I was thinking, okay, like Jam will hover, and there are some bunch of other people who can mold on buns and also hover. So I feel really, really bad, to be honest. And then finding out like the hookshot was on Catfish, so people got screwed maybe by that too. So I saved at the end time, I guess.
You said you'd been tilted since the cane in Desert. You did find that fairly quickly after Shady Force picked it up. And it was, or actually maybe you were the first one to pick it up.
I think he means it because he doesn't have a hookshot and that's go mode for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Right. That makes plenty of sense.
Because now I had in my head, okay, Ice Palace, I need to open every chest there. Then
Turtle Rock. I was gonna ask, do you remember where the big key was in Ice Palace?
Was on the hookshot side, huh?
Okay.
Is it then hookshot locked?
You need access to a small key, not right side, and you also need to not have access to the big key. So if there was a small key on the left side, or like an iced tea or somewhere, then it's not hookshot locked. But I didn't open any chests.
I only skipped iced tea, and I think there had to be a key.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So I guess it wasn't technically hookshot locked, so going into GT looking for it was not a wrong play.
But then the right side, is it not like in Key Sanity people say the right side is 4 key locked? So I was thinking in my head, can the hookshot be there now? Then I did it because I found like a small key in
Yeah, it's still, the right side is still technically locked by 4 keys. Even outside of Key Sanity. So you would have needed to find a lot of keys there.
And I had also in my head, maybe I climbed now because maybe the hookshot is upper GT, right? Because the big key was like on the torch.
Yeah, that is a possibility. I thought you were gonna go for it at that point, but yeah, no.
I did that 2 times in races and also opened the Moldon Bounce tutorial and didn't make it, and since then I stopped it to gamble on it. Tutorial. Yeah, so, right in mid-race, open a tutorial and no.
I kind of feel like I should learn that at some point. Just because I don't know how it's done. And depending on the mode, you could get there without hookshot or boots.
I was practicing it a little bit before the seed. I'm very rusty at it though, because I haven't done it in like a few weeks, maybe a month or 2. But I managed it once in practice, so I would have gone there, probably via the bomb restock shop. But I'm not sure I'm so confident I would have got it right away. Anyway, I would have lost a lot of time.
I also had no knowledge that I was racing you on the restream, so I was thinking when I got third, okay, at least I won on the restream, right? And then I checked it, okay.
I had no idea who I was going to be picked against either.
Oh, that's interesting. I know usually that's common knowledge, but I guess not today.
Yeah, I was asked to be on Restream, but I didn't ask who.
I had
was
only
on.
the knowledge that I'm on Restream, not
Yeah,
who
same.
else is there. I was like thinking also it's 4-player.
Yeah, it was just 2 today.
I was wondering if it was going to be like Zelda and it was going to be like a spoiler show off or something like that.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, again, both of you did excellent this run. I don't think I could have gotten anywhere close to those kind of times. Oh, it was a little unfortunate, Ixion, that you found the hook shot and then didn't go to Zora because there was a sword on the Zora ledge.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah. Did you check Bumper Ledge?
No.
Because that was the other sword.
Oh really? I checked Bumper Ledge, and I thought it was just junk.
Yeah, well, it was a green 20 by the time you got there.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I had no race yet, and you can have one bad race, so I had some things I don't play it like Giga save this one. Like, I can see normally if I had a bad race already, I 100% go catfish before pot. Like, it's the safe play. Hammer can also be there, and then you can clear pot, right? And this helped me, I guess, to get at least time back on my not hovering skill.
Also, Ixion, I almost had a heart attack on your Helmasaur fight.
Same.
That just literally inside Helmasaur's face while you're shooting the last silver arrow. Anyway.
Yeah, but I was also pretty sure when I had the bow, because in this mode there's only one bow, and you got it pretty early. Amos had nothing. There was a map there, I also skipped an item. And then I was sure that pot is probably the answer. You also can defeat Aga.
Mm-hmm.
And then I left Agina, Hobo, I think, and Zora, Legend Zora.
Yeah, having a non-progressive bow does make it quite a bit more useful in terms of routing. You know what I mean? When you find it early.
In the last qualifiers, I was really happy it was non-progressive because the bow was on the Lumberjack ledge, and I was like, oh, thank God, at least everyone knows that they need to do that, and you're not gambling that the other bow's just sitting there in pod or something. But in this seed, when I found the silver arrows early and I couldn't just go straight to Eastern, I was really annoyed it wasn't progressive bows.
All right. Well, I enjoyed watching this race. I enjoyed following it, and you did an excellent job. Is there anything else you two would like to say before we wrap it up here?
Thanks for covering it, Bob, and the SG crew behind the scenes. I always appreciate it. I'm looking forward to watching it back.
Yeah, thanks for the restream. Thanks for commentary, Bob. Amazing job.
No problem. Thank you. All right, everybody. Once again, thank you to both of our runners, Ixion and Shady Force, for putting on an excellent show today. If you want to see more of this from these runners, you can follow them here on Twitch. I'm sure they would appreciate it. And everybody, I also want to thank our tracker, Arteril, for taking care of the icons you see on the screen. I would thank a co-commentator, but I didn't have one today. And also thank you to all the people over at SpeedGaming for hosting this tournament. And yeah, so thank you all once again. I will just say that I have been Dr. Bobtastic, and I will see you all at a later occasion. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, and all that jazz. See you later, everybody.